Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to another video. I am so excited for today's vlog. I look forward to filming this video every single year, but we are doing my prep and plan and reset for the new year and overall how you guys can make 2023 your best year. Basically just how I set up and plan and how I intend to make the new year my best year. So we're gonna go through my vision boarding, my goal planning, intention setting, and just chat really in depth of just how I set my goals and do reflections. And yeah, I feel like I've chatted in the past years about goal setting and stuff, but I really wanted to do a more in-depth video because I feel like my last resets for the years have been really kind of all over the place, but also like really busy with a full routine. So I thought we would do also a little 2 to 3 part series, and today is more focused on the real like goal planning and intention setting. So this morning I've just kind of had a slow morning. It's currently just past 10. I just made a coffee. It's my first coffee. Yay, at 10 a.m., which is good. I didn't wake up and was like, I need a coffee immediately. This is also my first video with my new hair, and I did vlog getting this done. I was going to do a full mini like glow up, get my lashes done and my brows done, but the snowstorm for the past few days just said otherwise. Today is December 28th and it's finally like, it's snowing, but like not like crazy out. But I did vlog getting my hair cut, so I'm gonna insert that footage here.
Friend or foe, but I guess I'll come to find when it's time. Shattered glass still shine when the sun is high. Don't know if I'm friend or foe, but I guess I'll come to find.
But now that you guys saw my little mini haircut and glow up, I'm gonna go start doing my vision board. If you haven't already, grab yourself a drink, light some candles, set the atmosphere. You guys know the drill, and let's just get ready to plan for 2023 and make it the best year. For me, my vision board is typically more of a general thing. I set it as my desktop screensaver, I set it as my phone screensaver, and I've been doing this since I think the first one I did was 2019, maybe 2018, but I think more likely 2019. So the first thing that I always do is I go and open up Pinterest and then open up my PowerPoint where all of my previous year's vision boards were. Sometime in December, I normally start my 2023 or whatever the next year is Pinterest board. So I have this board on Pinterest right now. It's called 2023. I have all of my previous year's photos as a section within the 2023 board. And so typically I will just go and copy and paste any images that I want from that board and paste it onto my vision board and just kind of rearrange it as I like. And the vision board that I do typically has larger, more general goals, or if there's any like big specific goals that I know that I have already even before sitting down to plan out, just big goals that I might have for the upcoming year. For example, last year it was getting my first place, so that was a big thing on my vision board, but normally it has some more general goals or images to represent general goals, and then I tie some more specific goals to them later. For example, travel more, eat healthier. One of them for me this year might be buy my first car, possibly get engaged. We're not going to talk about that, but possibly. And then like some images that I want to represent my life this year. I also love putting on quotes that kind of represent what I'm aiming for this year, or just are my motto for the year. For example, my 2021 motto was enjoy the journey, and my 2022 motto was growth is a process. And I haven't picked what I want my 2023 one to be yet. I have a few in mind, but maybe as I make my vision board there will be one that kind of stands out a little bit more to me. But I'm gonna go ahead and do up my vision board now. 2023 vision board is all set. Now, the next thing I'm gonna do is a little quick electronic declutter, and normally I would go through and do a full in-depth one on my phone as well. But this year for Christmas, I bought myself a new phone. Finally, I got the 14. So I thought we would set this up a little bit later and then maybe go through a declutter, because I think the new phones like literally just transfer everything from my old phone. But I'm gonna quickly do a little electronic desktop clutter, just get rid of any files and things that I don't need on my laptop. I think I might get to also doing a little like space declutter later. There's just some things like Christmas always creates chaos for me, and my spaces just become a mess everywhere. So if we can get to it today, I will probably do a space declutter as well. I sometimes forget how long it takes me to make a vision board. That literally took me over 2 hours to do. So I made a quick lunch, ate that after I did my little desktop clear out. Now we are on to goal setting. This is my new little journal for this year, where I'm gonna do all of my monthly goals, my intentions, and main journaling this year. The goal is to try and fill this journal, because I, in the past 2 years, have not filled the journal that I started when I do my like monthly goals and stuff. It just ends up getting like halfway through, and I love starting a new journal for the new year. I think it's just a nice fresh start. But the first thing that I start with when it comes to goal planning is writing a few numerical goals. And this year is 2023, so I'll do 23 goals for this year. This is something that I've just done for the past few years. Like last year was 2022, so I did 22 goals for the year. I don't know if I will continue doing this for the end of time, but I've just been doing that for the last few years. So that is what we're gonna do, is some goals. And for me, I set both goals and intentions. Goals are tangible things, typically numerical values that are like a solid, tangible goal to be accomplished. For example, run a 10K, hit 100K followers. Like, they are specific numerical values and things that can be checked off and is a straight up yes or no, did you accomplish them? Versus intentions are more things that you set and are kind of like a self-evaluated goal in a sense. So maybe you want to eat healthier. So it's more general, generic things that you kind of have to decide if you have actually accomplished it or not by the end of the year. I like to do both because I think it is good to have these really specific, I guess more classic SMART goals that you can actually check off and are tangibly accomplished, versus the intentions are kind of more, I feel like, well-rounded, self-growth mediated goals to help your personal development. So I'm gonna get into that now, and then I will share a few of my goals before we go into some 2022 reflections and mindset and journaling growth for 2023. Alright, we changed locations a little bit because I was getting tired of my desk. So now we were sitting at the coffee table on the ground, because what is goal planning if it's not in the most random locations? So I sat down and did my 23 goals for 2023, and something different that I also did this year was write down 5 big lifetime goals to kind of help guide my goal planning for this year. This is something that I'm doing new because I think it's really important to write down these big goals and aspirations that we have, like things that you want to achieve in your lifetime. And a big reason that I'm doing that this year is because I think that sometimes we have these big goals and aspirations, and you may even put them as your yearly goals, and I think sometimes that they're a little bit too big to be achieved in one year, and there's something that needs smaller goals of how you can work towards that bigger goal. So that's something that I'm working on this year. Is I wrote down my 5 big goals, and then a lot of my goals kind of correspond with small tasks or things and steps that I can make to start working towards those bigger goals within just 1 year. So I'll give you a little sneak peek of my bigger goals, but one of them is make Forbes 30 under 30. I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know with what company or what I'm gonna do, but I feel like that's probably every entrepreneur's, you know, big goal. So that's one of them, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what you might want to put on there, just like big career goals, life goals. Another one for me is travel to most, if not all, of the countries in the world. So one of my little goals for 2023 that corresponds with that is traveling to 3 new countries. But yeah, let me read out some of my goals for 2023 for you guys. So I want to hit 150K on IG. I totally think that is possible because we went from 40 to almost 100 this year, which was crazy as it is. I feel like it's always nice to have some sort of numerical goal, but overall it's always just continue growing the fam and growing the community. I also want to try and hit 750K on YouTube. I think we're at like 520 right now. So I also think that's like kind of reasonable because we went from just over 200 to 520 this year. My big goal would be to hit 1 million this year. And I really want to, but I feel like that's a really big goal. And I don't want to set myself up for failure. So I'm going a little bit small and going for 750. And then TikTok, my goal is 250. I already mentioned I want to travel to 3 new countries. I want to gain healthy weight / muscle, and I wrote a goal weight of 140. Because I flux between 130, 132. Not that the number on a scale is really a big deal, but something for me is I've always wanted to actually do like a mini bulk or just like a bulk and then cut and like actually put on more healthy weight and muscle. I feel like I've always kind of been in this in between of like never super skinny fit, never super muscular fit, just kind of like how I am. And I love my body, I'm happy with the way that I am, but I feel like I want to set myself up for a challenge this year and try and, you know, eat enough and put on like some healthy muscle. And I feel like that's a really big growth goal for me because I have previously struggled with an ED and just under eating or not eating enough and just poor body image, as I think most women, most people in general struggle with their body image. So telling myself that a goal for me is to put on weight is actually a really big growth goal because growing up I always wanted to shrink, and even I feel like this year I kind of regressed a little bit, but I don't want to get into that too much. That's a whole nother story. But I want to post a minimum of 1 podcast episode a month. I started the podcast back in June and I was really good during the summer, and then school hit and I kind of fell off. So I want to get back on that and do at least 1 episode a month. My big goal while I'm in school for the next 4 months still would be 2 episodes a month, but I don't know if that's actually reasonable for me. So I did 1 for now. I want to read 30 books. I only read, I think around 15 books this year. My goal was 25, but I'm gonna be finishing school, so I feel like I will actually be able to read a lot more this year, and so 30 is the goal. I would love to read more than that because I have way more books than that to read, but 30 is going to be my moderately challenging goal. I also want to do a monthly declutter and donation. So whether that's like just decluttering and throwing junk in the garbage, or decluttering and donating stuff to Salvation Army or to a charity, every month I want to have a day where I declutter, get rid of stuff. I want to finish 1 big home renovation. When I moved in, my long-term home plans were to renovate the kitchen, both bathrooms, and the living room wall here. So I want to do at least 1 of those renovations this year. If I could, I would do all 3/4 of them, but I feel like even just getting 1 done this year is reasonable. I want to do 30 minutes of movement daily. I'm pretty good with this. I'd say 4 to 5 days of the week. So even if it's just like a 30-minute stretch or a 15-minute walk and a 15-minute stretch, getting more movement in daily is a big goal for me. Also, I really want to go on a brand trip. I feel like this is something that I've been waiting for, and especially since I'm graduating and finishing school, I definitely have more schedule flexibility. So that is a big goal for me this year, is to go on a trip with a brand. Another one that I'll share with you guys is that I want to try 5 new things this year, period. So whether it's new foods, new experiences, just like do 5 things that I have never done before. Yeah, I feel like that one's a little bit self-explanatory. But those are some of my goals for this year. Like I said, when I go about goal planning, it's a lot of like numerical values and things that I can actually like check off and achieve. But I'm gonna move into some reflections and journaling. So I wrote down some journal prompts earlier this week. So let me just read a few of them to you guys to give you some ideas of some of the journal prompts that I'll be asking myself and kind of just sitting down and journaling. What was my biggest achievement of this year, and what was my biggest challenge that I faced? Do I have a favorite memory? What are some lessons or skills that I learned? What are 3 things that I am overall grateful for in 2022? How would I describe myself a year ago, and how would I describe myself now? What has changed, and how did I grow? And then kind of just anything that I feel I need to get out of my system, off my chest from 2022, and what I want 2023 to look like. So those are just a few of the journal prompts that I'm going to be using to guide my reflections this year. I think that reflecting on your past year is something that's so super important and really makes you remember and reflect on all the things that you did in the past year. I think sometimes that it comes to the end of the year and we forget how much has gone on in the past year. Like, a year is actually a really, really long time, and it may go by super quickly, but we often forget too, like, how much actually has gone on in the year. So I love being able to sit down and just, you know, go through and go, okay, what did I do this year? What did I accomplish? And I feel like it really helps your self-esteem and self-growth as well, because you can actually sit back and go, okay, I actually did X, Y, Z, or maybe it was a really hard year, and what are some things that I've learned this year that I can take into the new year and grow and continue to become that person that I want to be. I feel like one of the biggest things too that I want you guys to take out of this is that set yourself big goals, and that is totally okay. I feel like if you set those big goals, something that I do for myself as well is set 5 monthly goals, and setting those monthly goals are kind of your small stepping stones and steps to achieve those bigger yearly goals. Or even, like I said, setting those lifetime goals and kind of making a yearly plan, or just like having one small step that's helping you towards achieving that big lifetime goal. I think too, sometimes we might aim a little bit too small, and you just don't be afraid to set those big goals and have those big life dreams. Like, that's totally okay. And it's also okay to fail and not meet your goals. Those are just learning lessons that you have to take and say, okay, so I might have failed this, or I might not have been able to do this, so how can I do better next week, next month, or next year to set myself up for success and continue to learn and grow. But we're gonna do a little space declutter and cleanup. I have 3 boxes of clothes that have been needing to A, be put away, and B, gone through for just getting rid of. So that's all that I want to get done today, because it's currently 2 o'clock and I feel like that's just gonna take me a decent amount of time. But like, physically clearing your space is also, at least for me, such an important thing for the new year, because I always say that my spaces are a physical representation of my mental space, that when my spaces are cluttered, it normally means that my mental space and mindset is cluttered. So always for the new year, I'm like, okay, let's get rid of as much as I can. Let's clean up and find places for things so that my spaces are clear as my mindset, and I I want my mindset and my spaces to always be aligned. When you're stressed or anxious, entropy, like things tend to go to chaos. But yeah, let's go get a little space declutter on, because I have a feeling it's going to take me a little while. I'm definitely not even going to get through things today, but I want to get through those 3 boxes at least and then go from there.
I'm falling, I'm all in. You could be the one to solve it. My heartbeat, you're locked in. I never feel like I could do this right. I just go through emotions, radiate energies that keep hold of. Pupils dilate in the moonlight, starry-eyed, keep me mesmerized, up for life. Yeah, you do it right. You got me.
All right, I managed to get through 2 of the boxes. These are just some things that are going to be donated / sold, and I managed to get everything else put away into drawers, which I think is pretty good. So now I can break that box down and just take it out. Before we end off the video, I know I mentioned I would do a quick new iPhone unboxing and a little setup. I think I will do a full separate video on like a full what's on my iPhone, because it just needs to be gone through right now anyways. And I think also the setup is mostly just the transfer of this phone, but the box is super slim compared to the old boxes, I think, because it doesn't have a cube in it anymore. But I just got the black / space gray, no, I think it's black iPhone 14 Pro, because previously I just had an XS, and I've had this XS since 2019. So I figured it was time for an upgrade. So in the box, all it has is a little lightning cord. My phone basically now is just transferring all of the data over from my old phone, which takes like 20 minutes. But I did already get a new case. This is just a little one from Casetify with my name on it, because I do not feel like ruining my new phone, and knowing me, I would probably crack it, drop it, break it within like 0.5 seconds. And that's why I'm sitting on the couch and on the carpet, so it's safe. That was pretty quick and easy and painless. So that's a new thing for 2023 I'm excited for, is having a new phone for content creation and stuff too. I think it'll be really good. But I'm gonna end off today's vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed this first little video in my 2023 reset process. I hope it helped you start getting ready and planning and prepped for the new year. Wishing you guys all the best 2023 ever. I have such a good feeling about this year, and I am so excited. I feel like once I'm done school, I have so many more just opportunities and projects and things that I am so freaking stoked for. But like I said, wishing you guys all the best new year ever. I love you guys so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.